Mia, I want you to imagine a large field of grass. In the middle of this field, there are 500 sheep. Suddenly, one sheep gets scared by a butterfly and starts running to the left. What do the other 499 sheep do? They don't look around, they don't check for danger, they don't ask questions. They just start running to the left as fast as their legs can carry them. If that first sheep runs directly off the edge of a cliff, the whole group will happily jump off right behind it.
Absolutely, Simon. It's funny when we watch animals do it, but the scary truth is that human beings do the exact same thing every single day. We look at what the person next to us is doing, and we automatically copy them. We go to the same schools, we buy the same clothes, we follow the same life timeline, and we even repeat the same opinions we see on the internet. We like to think of ourselves as independent, free individuals, but most of the time we are just walking around with an invisible leash around our necks, letting the crowd pull us wherever it wants to go.
Exactly. We are terrified of being different. From the moment we are born, society trains us to fit in. The school system rewards us for coloring inside the lines and memorizing the same answers. Corporate culture rewards us for blending into the background and not making waves. But here is the brutal truth of life. If you follow the crowd, you will only ever go as far as the crowd goes. And where is the crowd going right now? The average crowd is broke, stressed out, unhealthy, and deeply unfulfilled. Today, we are cutting that invisible leash. Our topic is Stop Following the Crowd, How to Break Free and Think for Yourself.
Welcome back to the Mia and Simon podcast. I am Mia, and he is Simon, the man who wears unique socks because he refuses to let society dictate his ankles. If you feel like you are living a life that someone else designed for you, if you are tired of doing things just because that's what everyone does, and if you want to unlock your true individual power, you are in the right place. Today, we have a complete 8-part strategy to help you disconnect from the herd and build your own path. We are going to show you that the most dangerous place in the world to hide is in the middle of a crowd.
But before we step out of the line and break the rules, we need your support. If you're ready to stop being a sheep and start being a leader, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel right now. We're building a global community of independent thinkers, rebels, and creators who dare to stand alone. When you subscribe, you join a family that celebrates uniqueness and deep wisdom. It's the best way to make sure you never miss our psychological deep dives. By clicking that button, you're officially stepping out of the marching line.
Join the squad. We need your unique perspective in our circle. And hey, if you have a friend who's obsessed with trends, the one who buys a product just because it's viral on social media or changes their personality to fit into a group, hit that share button and send this episode to them. Let's help them find their own voice. It is time to stop playing follow the leader and start living your own truth.
Let's get started. We're going to show you exactly how the crowd manipulates your brain and how to build a mental shield against it. Are you ready to see what life looks like when you finally stop following the herd? Let's go. The mirror brain. Mia, let's talk about a fascinating piece of brain science. Inside your head, you have special brain cells called mirror neurons. Their job is very simple. When you see someone do an action, your brain copies that action internally so you can understand them. If I yawn, you want to yawn. If I smile, you want to smile. This is great for empathy, but it creates a massive trap called social mimicry. Because our brains are constantly mirroring others, we start adopting their habits, their style of speaking, and their goals without ever choosing them.
Oh, this happens to me all the time. If I spend a weekend hanging out with a friend who uses the word literally in every sentence, by Monday morning, I am doing it too. My brain just copies them to fit into the social circle. But it goes much deeper than just words. If you spend all your time around people who complain about their jobs, who eat unhealthy food, or who spend all their money on weekends, your mirror brain tells you that this is the normal way to live. You start mimicry living. You don't choose that life, you just absorb it from your friends.
Exactly. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The crowd doesn't force you to follow them with a stick. They do it silently through your mirror neurons. Think about your life goals. Do you actually want that heavy corporate job with a 90-minute commute? Or did you just copy that goal because all your classmates were applying for it? Do you actually want to buy that huge apartment with a 30-year loan? Or did you just do it because your cousin did it? Smart people understand that their brain is a sponge, so they are incredibly careful about what they let it absorb.
This is the ultimate wake-up call. If you don't actively guard your mind, you will wake up in 10 years living a life that belongs to someone else. You will be stuck in a career you hate, paying for things you don't need, just because you let your mirror brain run on autopilot. To break free, you have to become a conscious observer of your own behavior. You have to look at your daily habits and ask the golden question, is this truly my choice, or am I just copying the people around me?
It takes real courage to ask that question, Mia. The moment you stop copying the crowd will look at you like you're crazy. They will ask, why aren't you doing what we're doing? Are you okay? But remember, their confusion is proof that you are finally breaking free. And for our amazing listeners, if you're ready to turn off your autopilot and stop falling into the social mimicry trap, hit that like button and subscribe right now. Tell us in the comments, what is one habit you realize you only have because you copied the people around you?
Join the squad. Let's reclaim our true identities together. And if you have a friend who completely changes their personality depending on who they're talking to, hit that share button and send this section to them. Help them find their real voice.
Breaking the mimicry trap is step 1, but once you stop copying people's behavior, you have to face their collective voice of the internet.
Oh, the internet crowd is loud.
Protecting your thoughts. Mia, let's talk about the modern town square. It is no longer made of bricks and stone, it is made of pixels. It is social media. But there is a massive difference between the old town square and the digital one. In the old days, if you walked into a crowd, you heard random opinions. Today, when you open your phone, an artificial intelligence algorithm decides exactly what you see, what you hear, and what you should be angry about. The digital crowd is manufactured to create a hive mind.
Oh, it is a total trap, Simon. You click on one video about a specific political topic or a lifestyle trend, and suddenly your entire feed is filled with thousands of videos saying the exact same thing. You think, wow, everyone in the world agrees with this opinion. But they don't. The algorithm is just locking you inside a digital room with 50,000 people who share the same bias. It completely kills your ability to see the other side. It creates a fake crowd that forces you to think inside a very small box.
Exactly. It creates an echo chamber. And when you live inside that chamber for too long, your brain becomes lazy. You stop doing research, you stop analyzing data, and you start outsourcing your thinking to the timeline. If a post gets 1 million views, your brain automatically assumes it must be true. But history shows us that the majority is frequently wrong. The smartest people in the world build an algorithm shield. They don't let a software program feed them their worldviews. They actively seek out conflicting information to test their own beliefs.
This is so crucial for intellectual survival today. To build that shield, you have to break the pattern. You need to intentionally follow people you disagree with. You need to read long articles instead of just scrolling through 10-second clips. When you see a massive wave of public outrage online, instead of jumping into the comments section to shout with the crowd, you need to put your phone face down on the table. Ask yourself, do I actually care about this topic, or am I just being manipulated by a piece of code?
It is about taking back ownership of your attention span, Mia. The algorithm wants you triggered because an angry user is an active user. But an active user who cannot think for themselves is just a digital pawn. When you step back and look at the trends from a distance, you regain your clarity. You become the programmer of your own mind, not the product. And for our amazing listeners, if you are ready to activate your algorithm shield and protect your independent thoughts, hit that like button and subscribe right now.
Join the squad. Tell us in the comments, what is one internet trend or viral debate that you completely ignored because you knew it was just an algorithmic trap? Let's share our experiences. And if you have a friend who is completely addicted to scrolling and constantly angry about online drama, hit that share button and send this to them. Help them log out of the hive mind.
Protecting your digital mind is essential, but once you stop letting the online crowd think for you, you have to face the real-world pressure of standing alone. You have to learn how to survive the fear of social isolation.
Oh, that fear is deep in our DNA.
The power of standing alone. Mia, let's talk about our oldest evolutionary fear, the fear of exile. Thousands of years ago, if you were kicked out of your tribe, it was a literal death sentence. You couldn't fight a saber-toothed tiger by yourself, and you couldn't build a shelter alone. Your survival depended entirely on staying in the middle of the group. Because of this, our brains developed a deep, painful fear of social rejection. When you step out of line today, your brain treats it like a survival emergency. It triggers a chemical panic to pull you back.
That explains why it feels so terrifying to say an unpopular opinion in a meeting or to dress differently at a party. Even though no one is going to physically attack us, our caveman brain thinks, if they don't like me, I am going to die in the wilderness. It takes incredible emotional maturity to look at that panic and say, I am safe. It is okay to stand alone. Most people can't handle that discomfort, so they surrender their dreams just to feel safe in the crowd. They trade their greatness for a sense of belonging.
Exactly. They trade their destiny for comfort. But the most successful creators, innovators, and leaders in human history use what I call the Maverick's Edge. They realize that loneliness is not a punishment, it is a filtering system. The crowd is crowded because it is easy. The path of independence is empty because it is hard. When you're alone on your path, you have no distractions. You don't have people whispering doubts in your ear. You don't have mediocre minds dragging you down. And you don't have to ask for permission to innovate.
It is the ultimate freedom, Simon. In that quiet, empty space, you finally get to meet yourself. You discover what you actually believe, what you actually value, and what you are truly capable of building. When you aren't trying to please 100 different people, your focus becomes sharp like a laser. Every breakthrough in science, art, and business happened because one person was willing to step away from the warm, comfortable group and walk into the dark, cold unknown by themselves. They didn't find success in the crowd, they found it in the solitude.
Beautifully put, Mia. The crowd can give you validation, but it can never give you a breakthrough. True originality requires isolation. If you want to leave a unique mark on this world, you have to accept that you cannot walk with the herd and lead the herd at the same time. And for our amazing listeners, if you're ready to claim your Maverick's Edge and turn your fear of standing alone into your ultimate superpower, hit that like button and subscribe right now.
Join the squab. Tell us in the comments below, have you ever had to walk away from a group of friends or a popular path to follow your own truth? How did it feel? Let's support each other. And if you know someone who is desperately trying to fit into a toxic social group just to avoid being lonely, hit that share button and send this section to them. Help them find their strength.
Standing alone is a superpower, but once you have mastered the isolation, you have to look at how to build real, tangible wealth by going against the flow. You have to learn how the markets actually reward the nonconformist.
Oh, that is where the real money is made.
Reversing the crowd. Mia, let's look at the financial world. There's a famous rule written by Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors in history. He said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful." This sounds incredibly simple, but it goes against every single biological instinct inside our bodies. When a specific stock, cryptocurrency, or real estate market is booming, and everyone on social media is screaming, buy, 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 you're missing out on millions, our natural instinct is to run and buy it.
Yes, and that is exactly when the bubble pops. By the time the average crowd is talking about an investment at the dinner table, the real opportunity is already gone. The smart money entered years ago when nobody cared. When you buy because of the hype, you are just buying at the absolute highest price from the people who are getting ready to sell and leave you with a bill. The crowd always buys at the top because of greed, and they always sell at the bottom because of panic. They lose because they move with the wave.
Exactly. They're financial surfers who always miss the wave. But top-tier wealth creators utilize the contrarian premium. They understand that value is found in the places that the crowd is currently ignoring, mocking, or abandoning. When a great company faces a temporary media scandal and everyone panics and sells their shares, the contrarian steps in and buys them at a massive discount. When a specific industry is labeled dead by the news headlines, the contrarian looks at the underlying data, finds the hidden utility, and invests quietly in the dark.
It is about training your brain to see opportunity in unpopular places. If you've started a business that copies a trending model, like opening yet another basic coffee shop or launching another generic clothing brand just because it's popular, you are entering a bloody war with thousands of competitors. You are fighting for scraps. But when you look for a boring, unsexy problem that everyone else is ignoring, like waste management, industrial supply chains, or local specialized services, you find a gold mine with zero competition. You get a premium just for being willing to look away from the hype.
Beautifully put, Mia. Value and popularity are rarely found in the same room. If an idea is highly popular, the profit margins are already crushed. If you want extraordinary returns, you must have the stomach to be wrong in the eyes of the public for a little while, until the math proves you right. And for our amazing listeners, if you're ready to upgrade your financial IQ and start harvesting the contrarian premium, hit that like button and subscribe right now.
Join the squad. Tell us in the comments below, have you ever avoided a massive hype train or made an unconventional choice that turned out to be a massive win? Let's share our financial wisdom. And if you have a friend who is always losing money by chasing viral internet stocks or trendy side hustles, hit that share button and send this section to them. Save their bank account.
Reversing the crowd is how you build true equity. But to maintain this contrarian lifestyle without going crazy, you need a method to test your daily choices. You need a framework that filters out social pressure completely.
Oh, we need a solid metric.
Thinking from scratch. Mia, let's look at how the average person solves a problem. They look at what already exists and they make a tiny tweak. If they want to start a restaurant, they look at the restaurant down the street and say, okay, I will sell the same food, but make the sign blue instead of red. This is called thinking by analogy. It is cheap, it is fast, and it is exactly how the crowd stays trapped in a cycle of copycat ideas. They can only copy what has already been done before.
It's like rewriting a book, but just changing the font. It's unoriginal and boring. But the real game changers, the people who actually disrupt industries and change human history, don't use analogy. They use a mental framework called first principles thinking. Instead of looking at what the crowd is doing, they boil a problem down to its most basic, undeniable truths, and then they build a completely unique solution up from there. They don't look at the existing rules, they look at the fundamental physics of the situation.
Exactly. Take electric cars, for example. Years ago, the entire automotive crowd said electric cars are impossible because battery packs are too expensive. They cost $600 per kilowatt hour, and that will never change. But a first principles thinker didn't accept that rule. He asked, what are the material components of a battery? Carbon, nickel, aluminum, and polymers. What is the spot market value of those raw materials? It turned out to be only $80 per kilowatt hour. By breaking the problem down to its core elements, he built a massive empire while the crowd was still saying it couldn't be done.
This is the absolute peak of independent thinking. When you apply the first principles filter to your own life, you stop asking, what are my friends doing, or what does society expect of me at 30? Instead, you ask, what are the raw facts of my situation? What do I actually need to be happy, healthy, and successful? If you break it down, you might realize you don't actually need that expensive university degree, or that traditional corporate job, or that massive house in the suburbs just to impress people you don't even like. You build a lifestyle based on truth, not tradition.
Beautifully said, Mia. Analogy leads to conformity, but first principles lead to true innovation. When you filter out the noise of how things have always been done, you unlock solutions that the crowd is completely blind to. You become a creator of paths, not just a walker of them. And for our amazing listeners, if you are ready to apply the first principles filter to your career, your finances, and your daily life, hit that like button and subscribe right now.
Join the squad. Let's break down our lives to the core truths together. Tell us in the comments, what is one rule or tradition in your culture that you think makes absolutely no sense when you look at it logically? Let's analyze it. And if you have a friend who is stuck in a dead-end routine simply because that's how everyone does it, hit that share button and send this section to them. Help them look at the raw facts.
Thinking from scratch gives you ultimate clarity. But to maintain this level of independence, you have to build a thick skin against social pressure. You have to learn how to handle the inevitable criticism from the herd.
Oh, the crowd will definitely bark when you step out of line.
Surviving the backlash. Mia, let's talk about human nature. When you stand up and say, I am no longer going to follow your rules, I am going to build my own path, the crowd will instantly react. They will not say, wow, good for you. No, they will laugh at you, they will mock you, and they will tell you that you are going to fail. Why do they do this? Is it because they hate you? No, it is because your courage shines a bright light on their cowardice. Your independence proves that they are trapped and their ego cannot handle that truth.
This is so real, Simon. When I decided to quit my traditional path to build a digital career, my relatives looked at me like I had lost my mind. They said, Mia, this is dangerous. It is unstable. You should stick to a safe, normal job like everyone else. It took me a long time to realize that their criticism wasn't actually about me. It was about their own fears. They spent their whole lives playing it safe. So if I succeeded by taking a risk, it meant their entire lifestyle was a mistake. They tried to pull me down just to protect their own comfort zone.
Exactly. The crowd wants you to fail so they can say, see, we told you so. You should have stayed in the line with us. To survive this pressure, you must build the critic shield. This shield is made of a deep psychological understanding. You must never take advice from people who are living a life you do not want to live. If a person is broke, stressed out, and miserable, why on earth are you letting their opinions dictate your career choices? Their criticism is actually a sign that you are moving in the right direction.
That is the ultimate filter, Simon. If the crowd hates what you are doing, you are probably doing something incredibly right. The moment you activate your shield, their words stop hurting you and start amusing you. You look at their judgment and you think, thank you for the confirmation. You realize that the only opinion that matters at the end of the day is the one looking back at you in the mirror. If you are proud of your choices, the noise of the herd means absolutely nothing.
Beautifully said. A lion does not lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. You must protect your energy and keep walking forward without looking back. And for our amazing listeners, if you're ready to pick up your critic shield and stop letting mediocre opinions kill your dreams, hit that like button and subscribe right now. We are here every week to help you keep your armor strong. Drop a comment below. What is the most ridiculous piece of criticism you ever received when you tried to do something unconventional?
Join the squad. Let's stand strong against the noise together. And if you have a friend who is always giving up on their creative projects because they're terrified of what people will say on social media, hit that share button and send this section to them. Give them a shield.
Building your defense is crucial. But once you've survived the judgment of the herd, you reach the final level of evolution. You don't just survive the crowd, you transcend them completely.
The ultimate graduation.
The authentic life. Mia, we have covered an incredible journey today. We have identified the invisible leash of the herd, broken the social mimicry trap, built our algorithm shield, and discovered the unique power of standing alone. Now we stand at the final gate of this masterclass. When you completely stop following the crowd, something magical happens. You no longer look at the world to tell you which way to walk. You discover your own internal compass. You align yourself with the true north.
Ah, Simon, it is the most liberating feeling in the world. When you stop living for the validation of the crowd, a massive weight drops off your shoulders. You stop trying to match an artificial timeline that society invented. You realize that you don't need to be married by a certain age, or own a specific luxury car, or work 60 hours a week just to fit into a template. You start creating your own definitions of success, happiness, and peace. You finally become the author of your own story, not just a character in someone else's book.
That is the ultimate goal of human maturity, Mia. The crowd lives in a state of constant drift. They go wherever the cultural wind blows them. But a person who has found their true north is unshakable. They look at the trends, the panic, and the shifting social rules, and they simply smile. They choose their actions based on deep, timeless values like integrity, legacy, original creativity, and genuine connection. They don't care about being popular. They care about being real. And ironically, that is exactly when the world starts looking at them as leaders.
It is the ultimate paradox. When you stop trying to fit in, you finally stand out. And to our incredible, brilliant listeners who have completed all 8 sections of this journey with us, thank you. You are the independent minds who are going to build the future. If you are ready to claim your true self and live by your own compass from this day forward, hit that like button one last time and subscribe to our channel right now. We are here every single week with high energy, deep psychological strategies to keep your mind sharp and free.
Join our global circle of independent thinkers. Your subscription means you are choosing depth over noise and authenticity over conformity. Remember this roadmap the next time you feel the pressure to blend in. Take a deep breath, activate your shield, look at your own principles, and stay on your path. We are incredibly proud of your commitment to self-growth today.
The marching line is officially broken, Simon. I am walking my own way now. And to everyone watching, you are the pilot of your own journey. Don't let the crowd fly your plane. Share this entire 8-part series with someone who needs the courage to step out of the crowd and shine in their own light.
Well said, Mia. Thank you for this incredible collaboration, and thank you to everyone at home. Stay independent, stay strong, and follow your own true north.
Thank you for listening to the Mia and Simon podcast. I'm Mia.
And I am Simon. Stop following the crowd. Think for yourself. Goodbye.